have on the back.
What's going on, beautiful people? I'm the Grandmaster, and I also go by D-Ray, bringing you guys the next episode of the Grandmaster's Table. We'll call it the #1 podcast on YouTube, at least in the Pokemon community. We're the most consistent, we can say that.
Sure.
We haven't seen many podcasts do the more every single Wednesday kind of thing, so shout out to you, Summer, for giving me a high five that we've been on it. And Summer is joining us. Say hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna call you my beautiful co-host, but I know you're just gonna give me an ASMR. Look at this. Guys, today our guest is it's a very special guest for those who play Draft League more consistently nowadays on Showdown. You guys know who this fiend is. This man is a scary threat every time he pops on your schedule. Silver Smasher is one of those people that if you play, whether if it's on Wi-Fi, whether if it's on Showdown, then you're in for a big butt whooping. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please do me a massive favor. Help us welcome Silver Smasher.
Yo, what is good, guys? This is your man, Silver Smasher, coach of the Galactic Garchomps and coach of the Floridian Typhlosions. And I'm pumped to be on this Grandmaster table with my man D-Ray. Let's go.
If you guys are excited too, do us a massive favor, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And if you're new, please, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, do us a massive favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video. So Silver, how you doing, man? It's been a while since we've chatted. How you feeling?
Well, honestly, lately I've been doing a lot better ever since the whole thing that happened like last month, which everybody should know by now, but
Yeah.
How are
other than that,
how are things coping with that? You feeling good?
yeah, honestly though, like obviously I'm gonna miss my mom, but at the same time it's kind of like you can't really just dwell on that. You gotta move on to just get stronger from it. So that's what I'm doing. Just moving on with my life because my mom wouldn't want me to just dwell on her death and just not move on and press forward. So I'm just trying to be a stronger and better person each passing day. So
That's great.
That's all you can do, man. So for those who haven't heard, our biggest condolences are to Silver that he did and his family. I did lose his mom, and you've been a strong force, man. I know that you kind of dipped out a little bit, which is to be expected, right? Give yourself a little time for you and your family, and I give you kudos because it takes a special person to just hop back into a community like this where there's just so many people and so many opinions, and the fact that you're able to put the world on your shoulder, still be able to, like you said, move forward, because I'm sure it's what your mom would like you to do. It takes a big man, and we appreciate you for sticking around and not just saying goodbye. So thanks so much for coming back to us, man.
no problem. Honestly, the biggest help for me is going on Discord, just getting an escape from life, because life can be overwhelming. So just chilling on Discord, playing games, being in calls, just chilling with the homies, it helps a lot. So it passes the time.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I know that you it's kind of more so Discord to kind of keep yourself distracted. With being a content creator, we were seeing you a lot in Generation 7 for Pokemon. So can we expect to see the great Silver Smasher come back anytime soon for Gen 8 with the state of the meta that we have now?
Honestly though, I love Gen 8, but as a gen, like so far I've been having a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of new mons to try, new meta changes with all of these new DLC things coming out, the moves like Poltergeist, Dual Wing Beat, all that kind of fun stuff. Grassy Glide, Rillaboom for an example, like that mon is broken. Oh my god, do not get me started on that. But we even have like D-Ray's mascot, Young Darmanitan. That mon, we all know that mon broken. But yeah, outside of that though, like the timer is the only thing that's keeping me back. And then not only that, like I can tolerate the timer, it's just the no replays. Like without the replays, I can't ask for someone to be like, you know what, you record this for me so I can like postcom. I can't even postcom because you can't say replay, so that sucks a lot. So I've mostly been.
I'm glad you brought that up. That was my next question, is that do you feel like it's because it's real different to be quote unquote entertaining during a matchup, especially because there's lots of different elements to it, especially the thought process of making your moves, and sometimes having to be entertaining for a video kind of hinders you from making the correct call at times. Would you say is that you're a stronger post-com content creator than you are live com, and does that affect your game?
Honestly, though, I used to live com showdown games when I used to play in APA Classic and Gen 7. I think I have my games with Panther and all that. Jacob is always all them people. But I think I play better when I'm not commentating, because when I'm commentating, I feel like I don't want to be boring just calculating everything, going over a million different scenarios that I can execute and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm not entertaining when I'm focusing on winning and all that kind of stuff. So for the most part, I feel like post-com, I'm a lot more hype, because like I can focus solely on the content that I'm trying to create, rather than, okay, I'm trying to create this hype content, play well, and not look like an idiot. So that's just how I view it.
You obviously watch other content creators on YouTube, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
Steve Magnitude, have you seen the stuff that he's been posting on Gen 8?
Yeah, somewhat. I haven't really been watching as much content lately, but I've been seeing a few WBE, GDL, BBR, all that kind of stuff. And I've been keeping an eye on D-Ray's videos, OG Abana, Diet.
The reason I bring up Steve is because he's probably the only creator that plays Draft League that I think does do post-com. So it's a little bit different. It looks different because in Gen 7, obviously we have the versus recorder like you referred to, where you can keep those turns constantly moving simultaneously, and you can even, do the whole sit your fun stuff and change the background, make that all pretty and whatnot. But the way that Steve works it out is that he plays the game, records it, and then does the post-com, but what's it called, hyperlapse, where it makes it faster in the replay, like 3 or 4 times, and he speaks over it as he's making the moves. But the main difference is that now you see you clicking either to your Pokemon or clicking up and down your moves as you go, versus just in-game action. Would that be something you would consider doing, is just playing the game, recording it, and then playing it back faster and you just talking over?
See, with me is like, I suck when it comes to like being in sync with commentary as it is, because so it's gonna be weird. I'm just more of it has to feel natural, and if it doesn't feel natural, it's not gonna come as authentic and fluent, because I'm easily like I jumble my words a lot when I'm not confident in what I'm gonna say, so that can throw me off a little bit. We're
gonna keep the selfish side of me as being your opponent is that I would prefer you to come back and do this element, because I know that I can get a little bit of an advantage over you, because my man, you have been a force in Draft League no matter what generation it's been, for quite some time. How long have you been playing Draft League?
I've been playing since the tail end of Auras in Draft League, because I remember during the summer of 2016 I was in this server because I used to play Super Smash Brothers, like go to tournaments and stuff. So I was in this Smash server because I was talking in the streamers chat, and there was this guy who was starting a league. He was like, 14, 15 years old. And he posted a video of I think it was the league that Pokegame was in. I forgot what it was called. But he showed me a video of how they started their draft and like the streams, and I thought that was dope, because I used to ladder all the time, and I got really bored of laddering because I saw Lano T everywhere, Mega Lap, Mega Metagross, all that kind of stuff. So it got stale, and I'm like, I'm so tired of seeing the same oh my god, I cannot talk. But I kept seeing the same meta staples over and over and over, and it gets stale, and I'm like, there has to be something to make this game fun. So after I saw that and I joined, I was confused, because at the time I'm like, okay, so how do we pick mons? Like, do we randomly pick mons or whatever? And then he just showed me a video. I was like, still kind of confused, because like he's like, oh, it's like sports. It's like, I'm like, okay, I don't watch sports. That doesn't help me. But so he gave us our drafting spots, and I'm like, okay, word. But my drafting spot was, I think, 7th.
Oof.
And yeah, it was bad. But since everybody else was new and I was new, I didn't know what was better in Jab versus like standard. So I was just going off of like meta knowledge. So I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go with either like Garchomp or something if it gets me. But then someone was telling me, he was like, you should get Mega Guard. That mon like it's so good. Like I was all right. I picked Mega Guard, and then Garchomp fell to me round 2, like late into round 2. I'm like, wow, I'm scooping that up. I got regular Chomp. But Garchomp and Mega Guard was literally like 90% of my kills that season. I ended up losing that season, but it was in finals, and it was versus a friend that also got in because he was in the Smash community too, which is ironic that I lost him. But yeah, that's when I've been playing 2016, which is a long time. That was the same year, I believe.
Yeah.
Sun and Moon came out that year too. Yeah, 4 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Crazy how time flies, huh? When you really think about it.
Yeah.
So you've been doing Draft League for 4 years now. When did you come onto the platform of YouTube? When did you start doing the whole content creation with recording the battles and putting them out there?
Okay, so I probably should have looked up my first video of Pokemon, but honestly though, like I think I started around 2018 or late 2017, and when I first did my live comp / post comp of Draft League videos, it was like my voice was so monotone, just you can tell I was uncomfortable and not used to like continuously talking about my thoughts and putting things together, because I'm not really known to be socially like confident. But when I did it more and more and more, I noticed that I became a lot more vibrant, hype, just energetic in my videos, because like my more recent stuff that I uploaded, I'm a lot more loud, vibrant, confident, and know what I'm gonna say. So it just flows. And the way I talk, it's like everybody that watches it is like, yo, Silver, that sounds just like you. You speak facts. You just like, you don't hold nothing back. You just talk facts. You just hype everything up, and it makes me want to watch. So I'm like, okay, that's motivation for me to keep doing it. But since Gen 8, I can't really record as much. It's just unfortunate. And honestly, if I wanted to record Gen 8, I wouldn't want to record Showdown Gen 8. I would want my first Gen 8 battles to be Wi-Fi, because Sword and Shield is a beautiful game aesthetically. A very beautiful game. So it would be fire if I can upload some Wi-Fi. Like honestly, like that would be dope.
It'd be nice. But today, for recording this, today is Monday. Today's what, the 28th? We've had an announcement now on Twitter that they're doing the Crown Tundra release trailer tomorrow. So just to give you guys a timeline of when we're actually sitting down for this, a lot of rumors obviously are speculating out which Pokemon are coming back. Spoilers, we'll let you guys pause in 3, 2, 1. There's like rumors if there's a Galarian Slowking, there's the Galarian legendary birds from Kanto are supposed to come back and have a new side to them, a new little edge. And the big topic is that in VGC, which is the official format of the Pokemon Company, is that they have access to now 15 different timers, and there's always different updates that whenever there's a tournament that's going on, especially now because of COVID, there's obviously things that they do online. We are able to access those timers to do those 2 versus 2 battles. There's always that want that there's those Draft League players that there's no real reason why they couldn't add a different timer, and there's no reason why they couldn't add a verse recorder, which is something that could happen. Again, we don't know. There's nothing really pointing in that direction, but that's definitely something that is sought after, especially from content creators like Silver. If the versus creator comes back, and rejoice if the timer comes back, we can definitely expect you to be on the Wi-Fi scene.
Facts. For sure I will be back. You already know this.
So this is our plead, Game Freak, if you're listening for whatever reason to the Grandmaster's table, please give us that timer. That's just our little 2 cents to push forward and moving from there. So you said that you were vibrant when you're doing your recordings in Gen 7. Is that you in your day-to-day life? Are you more extroverted than you're introverted in your just standard life day-to-day?
Honestly, I'm more introverted, but at the same time, like if I'm really confident and comfortable about something, I'm able to like conversate and be a lot more natural, like when I have conversations. But for the most part, I'm more of a introverted person that will keep to myself unless I'm really comfortable with you. Like if I don't know you or I'm not really sure on how to approach you, I'm not. So if you're gonna expect me to come to you if I don't know you, then you're gonna be waiting for a long time.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
You sound just like Summer.
That's exactly how I am. Like I 100% relate to that because Daniel is the type of person that he'll be walking by a stranger and can say hi to them and like whatever. And I'm not like that at all. Like I am very good at reading people's vibes. So I'm like, if I'm comfortable with you or I get a good vibe from you, then it's easy for me to be myself and like, you know, kind of joke and whatever. But like my closest friends and family, of course, I'm like, you would think I'm an extrovert, but in public, not at all.
Which is quite surprising, Silver, because if I were to make a MySpace top 3 list of like the most hype people I've ever met, especially in this community, I'd put you at the top because every time we have a conversation, even when we first started, not only recording, but even on this call, is that you're just on level 10 hype all the time. Your energy is like always off the charts. Is it something that you feel like you have to turn the switch on? Or is it something that is just you energy wise that's like in a day to day? You're just always energetic.
Natural, yeah.
See, I have the energy when I really love to do something. Like if I have the passion for it, you're going to notice it immediately. So I think that just comes with the enjoyment of me being in the community for the most part. Like I love playing Mons and I love chilling with the people that plays it for the most part. Unless it's like some tension or drama, but I for the most part try to stay away from that. I'm like, yo, look, I didn't come on Discord for more drama. If I wanted drama, I would be off of Discord, but I come on Discord to chill, talk, play Mons, meme with people, just be vibing. That's just all I come to do. So
yeah, especially you start to enjoy yourself more when you're having fun. There's no fun when things are going awry. Now we need to dip into your past, man. How long have you been a fan of the franchise Pokemon?
Oh my god, it goes back to when I was 3 or 4 years old.
Wow.
My brother had the Nintendo 64 and he had Pokemon Stadium, and whenever he wasn't playing on his N64, I would play Pokemon Stadium all the time. So I used to love playing on that, and then I used to watch the cartoon too back then. So I used to watch the anime, watch what other people played, because like there was other people who had like Pokemon Snap, all that stuff. So it was just a good time. Ever since then, I got hooked on Pokemon. I got my GameCube, got Pokemon Coliseum, loved that. Used to play it all the time. Then the DS's came out. I got Pokemon Diamond. That was my actual first main game. Gen 6, not Gen 6, Gen 4. This is why I love Sinnoh so much, because it was my actual first game. Like handheld game at that. Because I never had the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Colors, none of that. So just getting the DS and then having the Pokemon Diamond, just opening your presents, just seeing a Dialga in front of your face. It's just... Can you imagine that at that time? Like, I was so hyped. I was like 9 years old or 8 when it came out. So I was just hyped because I asked for that. That was the first thing. Oh
yeah, your story is different from other people's. I like this.
A lot different,
your first experience with Pokemon was the non-main series games, was the spin-off versions, not the Pokemon Stadiums. I've never played Coliseum. I was talking to Chase Seabat, and he loves that game. He did it on stream. I haven't yet to dip into those games, but you started
Pokemon Stadium.
Stadium, Coliseum.
A great game. I'll still play that.
The Clefairy jingle, we're all about it. The Kakunas turning gold.
Yes. The Rattata jumping thing.
Yeah, the mini games, dude. When I met Summer, I think it was in the beginning of a relationship, where we moved back over here, right?
It was like a a year in.
A year in or so. We had the Nintendo 64 hooked up because we're just now moving back with my parents to help them out because my mom got into an accident, so we had to help out the fam. And when we were here, we didn't have much in the TV department here, so we had our Nintendo 64, and that's the first time Summer played the Pokemon Stadium, and she enjoyed playing the mini games
every night for
like
hours.
every single night. So much fun where you would like win a game, you earn your star, get 9 stars, you're the champ. It was a good time.
That was so much fun.
The mini games are so fun, like the Drowsy, Jigglypuff, Clefairy, like that just makes me want to play it.
Yeah,
like,
I want to play it right now.
Yeah,
oh my God.
The memories are what cares.
Like the classics.
100%.
Classics just hits different.
Yes.
So since you didn't start in the main series game, I feel like this question is gonna be. We all probably have a general gist of what your answer is going to be, but I'm curious to see what the story is behind it. If I were to tell you and ask you what your favorite Pokemon is of all time, doesn't have to be in Draft League or aesthetically, what's your favorite Mon of all time?
Garchomp.
Yeah, it's that. There it is. Yep. Is there any specific reason why? Is there a story behind it?
Okay, so growing up, I used to love Pikachu as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I got Sinnoh as my first game, and I used to have Garchomp. Not used to. I always had Garchomp on my team every single time. Every time. That mon is just amazing design-wise, amazing in-game, amazing competitively, like just an amazing mon in the GOAT generation. So I used to spam Chomp all the time. And plus, if you haven't noticed by now, Cynthia is my favorite champion. So the fact that my favorite champion has my favorite dragon type, it just meshes well.
It's a match made in heaven.
Facts.
That's hilarious.
The perfect pair. Oh my lord.
So you have 2 Draft League. Most people that play Draft League often, there's typically one that becomes synonymous with a coach, right? You've one because you're able to recognize the team and exactly know what coach it is right away. There's a lot of teams like there's a lot of coaches that play lots and lots of Draft League, that play lots and lots of different Draft Leagues, so they're able to do 2 to kind of change things up. Like A Drive has the Minnesota Viking Volts and the St. Louis Rampardos. Just to kind of name a few. You also have 2. I have 2 as well with the San Diego Snugglers and the Los Angeles Guerrilla Tactics. You have 2 Draft League teams. Your first one is the Galactic Garchomps. Did that come about first from the Floridian Typhlosions?
Floridian Typhlosions was actually my very, very first team name. Like I had that since 2016. And if you didn't know this, just Kurt can tell you this story, but when I joined PMU Season 3, my Typhlosion logo, spoilers, was not a logo. It was a picture of a Typhlosion with the words Floridian Typhlosion on it. And to this day, Kurt makes fun of it. To this day. Like, the silver, that was not a logo, big dog. Like, come on now. But I didn't know at the time because I'm like, look, I'm new in draft. I didn't know that wasn't a logo. I'm just trying to vibe, just play Mons, bro. I was not thinking about that. And then I saw these logos. I'm like, wait, how did you get your logo to look like that? But I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to roll with this picture. Then General Tar Heel made my very first one. And then after that, I believe, what's his name? Bill Stanish. He made my more recent Floridian Typhlosion. Yeah. Because I played in APA Wi-Fi season 4 or 3. That's when I got it because Panther was like, yo, Silver, you need to update your logo. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, who do I go to? And then he recommended me to Bill Stanish. I went to Bill Stanish, got the Floridian Typhlosion logo. He did it pretty fast. It took him about a day and a half.
Yeah.
And he gave me it. I loved it. I still love it. It's amazing. And then 2 years after, John Jr., the myth, the legend, commissioned me the Galactic Garchomp logo. I love it so much. Like, it's so good. And I might actually go to John for another logo because I'm itching to get another one, but I'm not sure what yet.
So your logos are done by John Jr. and Bill Stanish. That's a pretty solid list you got going on there.
That's amazing. Yeah, exactly. Money well spent.
Yes.
So the reason I bring that up, your favorite Pokemon you say is Garchomp. What's your connection to Typhlosion?
Okay, so it connects to Pokemon Coliseum
Oh, okay.
because when you play that game, you start off with Umbreon and Espeon, which comes from Johto. So your first Shadow Pokemon you catch is Makihita, but I don't really care about that. The one I cared about was that you was able to catch the Johto starters in their mid-evolutions. And I decided to go with the Quilava. And I saw Typhlosion, and every time I attacked with the Typhlosion and I saw the flames, I just thought it was so cool that like every time he attacked, the flames came out from around its neck. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I'm like, bro, I love this mon. It looks so dope. Then Heart Gold Soul Silver came out, and I fell in love with it even more. So it was just, that's why I love it. It used to actually be my favorite mon, but then after Draft League, a couple of years after, I'm like, you know what? I'm really digging the Chomp, man. Like, Chomp really do be hitting different now. But other than that, like, it's a war between the two, but Garchomp's been winning the most lately, so I have to go with Chomp as of now. But
yeah, that's what you basically most coaches do is you get your favorite two Pokemon and then those become your mascots.
Yeah,
so it
your
looks like you evolved from Typhlosion over to Garchomp. That's dope. That's a cool story. I actually did not know that. So I'm gonna give John some kudos because the Galactic Garchomp's look was actually really, really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Now, my man, what is it that you do outside of content, outside of Discord? What do you do in your day-to-day life? Do you have a day job?
Yep. But okay, my day-to-day job is I usually go to it's called Popcorn Junkie. So I work there, and we usually make orders for Advent Health, Disney, theme parks.
Wow.
So like we get a lot of orders, and we're busy. We go to like football games, basketball games, all that kind of stuff, soccer games even. So it's like we're always making popcorn, and everybody loves popcorn. So we're always busy. And I think the most fun, honestly, is that my boss is somebody that I can actually like kind of look up to as a role model in a way, because
that's
like
awesome.
he has so much knowledge for a boss. Like a lot of the time your boss wouldn't like spill knowledge into you, but my boss is just like, I can look at him like a grandfather because he's actually older than my dad by a good amount. So it's like he's an older guy just scratching the surface of what's to come. But I think I love it because of the people there and the boss.
That's awesome.
It's a good job. So
yeah,
I do that. And if you didn't hear that, I think that's my dog.
Oh, you've got pups.
Slightly, yeah.
You've got pups. You're a pup dad. What kind of dogs do you have? People are about to melt.
It's only one dog, but his name is Kobe. And he's a pit bull terrier. Black and white. I think I posted a picture of him.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of Kobe.
He's a beautiful dog. He's annoying sometimes, but I still love him.
So I've been talking to Summer about, we're going to get into this because not only do people love dogs, but I've been curious because we have two small dogs. Yeah. They're on the
old
tail
ladies.
end of their life. They're very, very old. So it's going to be pretty soon time to get dogs ourselves for our small family. Summer is a big advocate for like golden retrievers and for...
I want a Great Dane.
A great Scooby-Doo up in the house. And I'm more into the pit bulls. What's the demeanor like and what's it like to be a dad of a pit bull mix?
Honestly, though, people have the wrong interpretation of pit bulls being aggressive dogs because my dog is very friendly.
Yes.
Like energetic. The only thing about pit bulls that are true is that they're territorial of their home. So my dog, he's very protective of the family. Even though he's still a puppy, he like barks at stuff. And then he just has this mean look. He's like, what's that? Like, he hates lawnmowers. So every time our lawn is getting mowed, he just goes on a frenzy. My man just barks at everything. I'm like, yo, relax, Kobe. I understand. I hate the noise too, but it's not that deep. But it's just an adventure with that dog a lot of the time. I just walked him like about over an hour ago. So it was a good time. It keeps me exercising, going outside, being active. So I love the dog.
we're gonna consider.
I think a lot of dogs are territorial though, because we have a little ass pug, and she's about to turn 15, and she will literally still try to chase the freaking mailman.
Dude,
like, girl, you
is
can't even
tries
walk.
to bite the tires of the
Calm
freaking car.
down.
And she comes back limping like I made that thing my bitch.
She's so ridiculous. And then she has
It's
to
like
take a nap for the
Chihuahuas,
rest of the
too.
day. Yeah, I know. Chihuahuas are the worst. I honestly think when it comes to dogs, it doesn't matter what kind of dog it is. I think it has everything to do with the owners and how they treat the dog, determining whether they are going to be aggressive or not. Like, it doesn't mean pit bulls just have that stigma because they look aggressive, so people use them in the way to be aggressive. They use them, they mistreat them or use them in a really bad way. So I think that's why they have that stigma. But all the pit bulls I've seen are like the sweetest pups ever. So
Exactly.
And Silver is also the sweetest pup ever, so it's just
Oh
a
my
match
God.
made in heaven.
I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
I did have a question. So how did you come up with your name, Silver Smasher?
Ooh, good. It's Silver
Okay, so
Smasher.
I actually got this question in the Ask Me Anything in the APA.
Oh, huh.
So Silver comes from Lugia because Lugia was my favorite box legendary. So, oh my god, I love that mon's design so much. So I used to play Soul Silver all the time, and XD Gale Darkness had Shadow Lugia on there, so I loved Lugia ever since then. And I played a lot of the older gens, so like I grew up with Lugia for a long time, and then the movie too. Lugia in the movie was so dope, so I love Lugia from that too. Just taking on the Titanic birds, the trio, the legends, just taking them on head on, just saving the planet. It was just dope to me. So I just love Lugia. And then Smasher, because I think I've mentioned this prior, but I used to play competitive Smash, so Smasher comes from that.
Okay, I had assumed after you said that, I had assumed that's where that came from. Yeah.
And this name was the thing since 2015.
Wow. That's good though. You found your name and it's stuck. Yeah.
That's probably the
It's a
common
good name,
denominator
too.
from everyone that's typically been on the Grandmaster's table is that their name starts at a certain way and then it evolves to something different.
Sometimes, yeah.
Versus you found it from like right then in the get-go.
Yeah.
So you've been a staple with your name and people have known your name since the very beginning, which is powerful. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my name.
So guys, today we're gonna hop over to Twitter. As you guys know, follow me on Twitter at Grandmaster D-Ray. And if you guys aren't already, make sure you do so you have the opportunity to shoot your shot and participate in the conversation with whichever guest that we have here and when we're recording. And today is no different. We're gonna hop on over. There's some juicy questions over there on Twitter. Summer's looking over here.
I just saw Howler's question. Jesus.
So we're gonna start from the bottom to the top. The first question that we have here is from at Adu MCH. I'm gonna butcher your name.
Autumn Chi.
Autumn Chi. They ask, on a scale of never to always, how much do your broken drafts carry you?
Okay, honestly, my drafts always carry me, but at the same time, you can't just give a broken team to just anybody and they can use it, because like, let's say you have a Galarian Darmanitan, and for whatever reason, it's not a Umon, and you just keep like, I don't know, you probably can't make predictions because Darm is a heavily prediction reliant mon. Because once you click a move, you're locked into it, or you have to swap out, losing a lot of momentum. So if you're not like a really strong player in predictions, maybe Galarian Darmanitan's not your kind of mon, and you can probably use it bad. So if you see a Galarian Darmanitan plus a lot of like all this momentum grabbers to bring it in, it can probably just not benefit a certain player that's not good at predictions.
Yeah.
But like, since I'm really good at predicting, I can probably love Darmanitan because I'm like, man, I can just predict this person to swap out. I U-turn our vote switch, our teleport, because teleport is broken. Bring in Darmanitan, click the right button, swap out, rinse and repeat. So that's my kind of play style. Like, I love to bring in my wall breakers, mons that punches holes in the team, and then just pave the way to victory with that. So I think in the way it goes hand in hand, it's like you have to meet in the middle. Like you have to know how to use
your play style,
the plane that you're given to. Like you got to know how to pilot the plane you're given.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Daniel and I were just, or I was just telling Daniel because everyone has a different play style, and there's a lot of broken mons. But if you have a play style that is not similar to what that mon does, it's not going to work out in your favor. You're not going to play that mon properly, and because he had an issue with one that it just wasn't, it didn't fit into his play style. Sorry, I had to
So what she's referring to is that you and I have the same play style.
Yeah,
I love putting people what's called the vortex. It's basically volt turn everywhere, and I can make that prediction to get the wall breaker in. It forces you out and then switch out, use teleport, use volt switch, use parting shot, all that fun stuff. That's my favorite thing. Even though it may be like a ballsy style of play, it's a lot more fun to be more fast-paced, offensive, and being able to make those predictions. So you and I be vibing, man. We be thinking about the same way. She's referring to NCP. NCP, our following season, I drafted Melmetal, and I thought, okay, I didn't do a very good job drafting around it. This is a cool Pokemon. I love the way it looks. It hits like a freaking freight train. I feel like as though I could try this again in the GDL. Let's try this again in the GDL Wi-Fi and see if I can do a better job. And in Seville, no avail. I can't use Melmetal. It's because I think it's just complete opposite what I'm used to doing. The whole trick room hitting hard, making a prediction to take a hit and then smack something else coming back. It's just not me. So that's kind of a message to most draft league players, is that sometimes it's cool to try new things, but to generally stick around what you're used to and what is your ace.
What your play, what you enjoy to play at, like how you enjoy to play.
Have you ever thought of a mon that you wanted to try and it was just like a complete bust?
Bro, it's funny you say Melmetal, because in PGP I have Melmetal, in MLP I have Melmetal, and I tried Melmetal in APA Evolution Season 2. All 3 times I have found that mon so underwhelming in practice. It just doesn't do what I want it to do. Like it's just like, it's like people just be slapping Rocky Helmet on their mons. So like sometimes you have to run protective pads, and if you're running protective pads, you're not the resist barrier, you're not getting leftovers, you're not hitting hard with choice band. It just feels underwhelming, and then it's slow, so it almost always has to take a hit. So like I prefer my wall breakers to have good speed. Like let's say in Gen 7 I used to love using Mega Guard, for example. Like it comes in, clicks Hyper Voice, swaps out, like because its base 100 speed is not that bad. So just bringing in Mega Guard, clicking Hyper Voice, or plus coverage, and then getting a kill and swapping out every single time. It's just my kind of mon, because it's fast enough to be a good wall breaker and get the job done. So that's just an example. So yeah, I get a lot of hate for Mega Guard too, because like Panther, Kurt, Ozzy Kurt, they always like saying, oh, so you always drafting Mega Guard or like Latios, Keldeo, all that kind of stuff, because I do draft those same wall breakers all the time. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
If there's one thing we can learn to love from Mr. Panther, is you never take the man seriously. Panther, if you listen to this, I love you to death, but you know it's true. The next part of the question that they ask you is, what's your favorite aspect of the draft format as a whole?
Honestly, I think the best part of draft is being able to outbuild your opponent in the building phase. Because like in the past, I used to be like, you know what, I just like to play the game. But as time went on, it's so much more enjoyable to like see how different your mindset is when you're prepping as you grow as a player. Because certain things that you may have like overlooked are a set that you know could have came, but you're not confident in it. And you end up not bringing it. But as you get better, you notice that, hey, I'm a much better player. I feel like if I bring this set, I'll know how to position it, how to play with it to win or to help support the team, etc. So it's just, it all comes down to experience and preference. Like certain people, they love to draft and that's it. But me, I love to draft because, as she asked prior, like, I always get broken teams, but we don't question that. I just get the broken. We just accept that I get the broken.
Amazing. The next question that we have here is from @LuxAnts. Great human being, love him to death. Asks you, would you want to try cosplay, and if yes, what character?
I would love to cosplay, but unfortunately, I do not know what. So I'm sorry, I'm not a full weeb yet. I love you, but I don't have an answer for that yet.
Amazing. That's honest. That's honesty
Yeah,
to
that
his
is
teeth.
honest.
I've gotten that question a lot, mostly from Liv. Liv was like, "Hey, you should cosplay." I'm like,
oh my god,
man, I couldn't pull that off. It just, oh boy, you don't want to see that. That's
I would die probably.
Oh
laughing.
my god, if you ever were to see
Oh
cringe,
my
that's just that. It's like watching a sheep wearing
Can
pants.
you
It's not a good
please
time.
do that. I would love to see.
No comment. The next questions we have is a series from @PantherSlick, Mr. Slick Panther. First question that he asks you is, why is HQ so goated?
I mean, when you have people like GCS, Diet Type, myself, we got Ray, we got Skyhorse, even my man D-Ray's in there.
Yeah.
He be plugging. he plugs every once in a while. Got to plug, keep the content moving, and move on. But we got like a lot of goats in there. We got LC Goat, OG Obana, we have TJ, all them GOAT players. Panther 2's in there too. So it's like a whole bunch of strong players that are in the APA community. So it's just, oh yeah, how can I forget Slick? Like, he's the one who asked the question. But Slick,
Oh man.
Damn.
Slick, no.
but yeah, Slick.
He's like waiting. He's like listening to the podcast right
He's
now, getting
waiting
closer
and waiting
and closer
and
and
waiting.
closer, and he's like,
He's like, wait, where's me? Like, I'm the GOAT too. Yeah, you are the GOAT, Slick. Don't worry about it. I love you, Slick. You a monster. You a beast. Oh my God, Slick has taken games from OG Obana, John Jr., Diet Type. He's
yeah, we
beating
call
me a little bit.
Slick the Goon Slayer. Him and I always
He
have
is
really
the
good
Goon
games
Slayer,
too.
100%. I would bet money on him to win.
That's funny.
Damn it, Slick.
That
Yeah,
man,
it's like,
he was destined to dismantle goons in Pokemon.
dismantle.
We're gonna knight him. He's just gonna wear that plaque on his desk for the rest of his life. The next question that he asks here is, why do people always say they are only available on Sunday?
Oh my God. The other day we were talking and I was in his TBC server. Like, it's called the Battle Company. That's his league. He commissions it. So the other day we were talking. I'm like, dude, like, I hate when I'm scheduling and I give them a list of days and then they're like, Sunday. I'm like, okay. What time? Like, and first of all, I didn't give you that time, so we're not playing Sunday. And next of all, what time? If you can only play on Sunday, like, it's nice that you said Sunday, but what time? I'm not sitting on Discord all day to randomly wait for you to pop on and say, "Yo, let's play right now."
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Like, and most of the time, people who play on Sunday is because they don't want to build into the last minute, and it pisses me off to no end. Oh my God, it's just so aggravating to me. Like,
Shout out
I'm
to
like,
the
bro.
homie. Yeah, it's 100% angry. Shout out to the homie at Shay Quaza.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah,
Shay likes to put the quote out there that Sundays are for Jesus and Pokemon. So that's
Jesus and Pokemon. Oh my God.
That's his quote of the
But
day.
he just does it as a meme.
He does it as a meme. So shout out to Shay in his podcast over there in Shenanigans. He's a big advocate for Sunday Pokemon.
Sunday Pokemon.
Same way, probably because he doesn't want to build. That's probably the main reason why.
Shout outs to going to church and to playing Pokemon Draft.
Yes. Oh my God.
And the
Sounds
third
like
part,
a good time.
yeah, see if you were to come back to Gen 8 if they fix the timer. We've already got that. That'd be a hell yes. Oh, could you imagine Silver coming? You should come back now where you're distracted. That way have a chance. The next series of questions we have is from @Platinum Howler. He asks you, what would you take first overall in a Crown Tundra Wi-Fi league? I'm assuming that you've seen the Pokemon that have been data mined in, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So which
Like,
one of
like
those
stats
Pokemon would you
and
take first overall from the Crown Tundra coming back?
Honestly, though, I've been dying to use Galarian Zapdos if it is released because, like, I love Zapdos out of the trio already. So when I saw its design, I'm like, bro, it looks like an ostrich. It looks dope. I was hoping it was going to be electric and fighting, but it's fighting and flying, unfortunately. But I'm still excited to use it because I want to see how they distribute the stats, its move pool, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just pumped to use that.
I love that. I love the fact that you said that because I saw this meme on Twitter that says that it said Galarian Zapdos, and they said there's two different kinds of people. People think that looks like a Roadrunner, and people that look like it's an ostrich. So I'm glad that your team ostrich. That's funny.
You
You
think
say
it
that.
looks like an ostrich?
I think it looks more of a Roadrunner, but I can see how it looks like an ostrich too. That's funny. And then the next part he asks you is
Yeah, that's why I laughed.
I can't
That's why
reveal
I
that,
laughed.
unfortunately. So you guys can go see what he said. He asks you BBR season 2 playoffs, who you got. I can't talk about it now because of the way. So for those who don't know, for Wi-Fi Draft League, you actually watch the games in the past, and we play in the future. So what that means
You
is
explained that.
when we
Very
post,
confusing.
yeah. So to elaborate, when you watch a game. For giving an example, the BBR, if we post our games on Saturday, that game was played the week prior.
Yeah.
And we're in that future week that you see the next following week. So the BBR has officially ended in the regular season. The seeds have been posted. I've been locked in since like a couple weeks ago. So he's probably trying to see if you'd see me. But
Or him.
And I can't see, I can't tell anybody. We can't unfortunately reveal the seedings and all that because Saturday coming, which is going to be not, it is the 28th, 22nd, 28th. What's today? Let's look at the calendar just to make this right. The 3rd.
It's the 28th.
The 3rd of October is the final week where you guys will see the regular season. But yeah, we're gonna keep that under wraps for right now. But we'll just assume, Silver, that you're gonna vote for me winning the whole dang thing. We'll do that.
Assume.
So the next questions here is from @Olivia Sama. She asks, what's your favorite anime girl besides, okay, I'm gonna butcher this, Aoi or Yui, because those are obvious.
Okay. First of all, it's Aoi, which a lot of people get wrong. I got it wrong too, so it's okay. I forgive D-Ray. But to answer Liv's question, I would have to say Miku Nukano, because I was talking with Ozzy Kurt because he is a anime watcher to no end.
Yeah.
So he suggests his anime to me, so I watched the anime that character I just mentioned was about. And the reason why I love her so much is because I don't know why, but I just find introverted and like more reserved girls a lot more attractive because it's kind of like how I am. And just to watch them open up and just growing as a person and just becoming a lot more like sociable and just more expressive with how they feel and what's on their mind is just, it reminds me of how I am because it's like I'm a turtle in my shell and I can come out when I'm comfortable. So
Yeah.
that's why I love her so much.
That
And
makes
she's
sense.
cute. So.
That's always a plus. Always a plus. The next question we have here is from @star_fish. We love Star. Star is going to ask you, what about, okay.
Say it again.
I'm going to say it one more time for me.
AOI.
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 Owie.
There we go. What about Aoi makes you like her so much? Part 2. So essentially you kind of already answered that part of the question, but the part 2 that he asks you is, who's your favorite girl in, okay, I'm going to pronounce
Dangan?
Dangan 2 so far.
Danganronpa. I actually didn't answer that question about Aoi. It was about the one that Liv asked.
Oh.
So give it to us.
Okay, so the first game, Aoi is a lot more. She's literally the opposite of me. Like she's energetic, vibrant, friendly. She's very sociably acceptable. Like if that makes sense. Like she's able to have conversations with everybody. She's able to read the room.
She's extra.
Very like vibrant.
Yeah.
Like she's a bubbly character, and that's also another thing I love. Like bubbly characters that just brings out the best out of everyone. Like it brings a lot of energy to the room. Like there's never a dull moment with her around. She's so cute to me, and she loves donuts. So what's not to love?
Hey, the donuts, awesome. And then he asks you, who's your favorite girl in Dengan 2 so far?
Okay, so at first it was Mikan for the longest time, but now I'm gonna have to say Chiaki. And D-Ray's like, who are these characters?
Yeah.
You don't gotta worry about that.
Amazing. So, Shuckle, my man, I appreciate you every single time you come on here with the most lightest and the most amazing of questions. I'm gonna give a couple of these on here, just because I know some of these are just complete memes, and I love him to death. We answered the Floridian Typhlosions question.
Shuckle Shuckle underscore
at
King.
Shuckle underscore King.
Young King, baby.
First of all, whoa there. I'm just kidding. He asks you, and the first thing he's gonna give you a compliment. He's gonna say before he gets started, not a question, but you're a very strong-willed individual, and you're one of the people I respect most in the community. So shout out to Shuckle, and he's giving you a light-hearted message. And then he asks you, I like this one, how many kids do you want?
I only want 2 kids.
Oh, that's a sweet number. That's how many we have. Is there a reason why?
Oh my god. Honestly, my mom and my dad, they had 3 kids. My older brother is 28. I'm 23, turning 24 next month. My sister's 21. So it's just the 3 of us. And the most annoying thing was when we went out, and a lot of places only have like an even number amount of seatings. So the most annoying thing was trying to find seatings for 5 people, because like it's an odd number and it's like the odd one out, and it can't be an odd one out. But I'm like, bro, if it's 4 is like that sweet number for a family. Like 2 kids, just you and your wife, evenly distributed. It's a good time.
See, Daniel, listen to him.
She's looking at me with like a freaking piercing gaze right now. Is because when we started dating, she asked me how many kids I want. I told her 5. Like I would have liked 5.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I'm one of those people that like big families. Like let them grow up, do their thing, get out of my house, and then later on come back for Christmas kind of thing. So that was my vision. But I do now understand the sweet spot that you're talking about. Kids. Now that I actually have 2 minions, that like you said, 2 kids, 4 people total in your little group is so good.
And we each got 1. If there's 1 more, we're outnumbered.
Yeah, we're outnumbered.
Exactly. You gotta be ahead of the kid.
Yeah.
You can't let them win. They can't win.
Exactly.
The parents must win.
Exactly.
Every time. And then he asks you, what are the best water, fairy, and electric types of Gen 7? Putting you on the spot.
Okay, like separate typing?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Water, fairy, and electric.
Yeah.
So is he saying best in terms of like my favorites are like meta staples?
We'll put it as your opinion as the best.
Yeah, what your opinion is of the best of those 3 different.
For electric, I would say Tapu Koko easily. Like terrain was so broken in Gen 7. Easily. Like just 1.5 in terrain plus stab is like adaptability boosted pretty much. But Coco was like fast, annoying, just able to pivot on everything, force switches, kill everything. Z-moves made that thing obnoxious, so Coco would have to be that. For waters, that's a little bit tricky for me, but because I am biased, I'm just going to say we gotta slide my man Keldeo on that list. That mon is a slept-on threat. Goatmon, I would recommend you try it. It just clicks 5 moves, but it's all it needs, so what's not to love? And then for fairy, now this is the hard question, because for fairies, it's like there's Morgana, which should be banned. So, but I love to use Mega Mawile. So I probably would say Mega Mawile, because with fairy, I consider Coco more of electric than the fairy type, so I'll just say Mawile for my fairy.
The Tooth Fairy
Honestly,
itself,
good.
that's a good
The
Pokemon.
Tooth Fairy.
That's a good Pokemon.
Tooth Fairy.
We appreciate everyone that left questions for us on Twitter. Again, guys, make sure you follow me so you guys keep up to date with whatever guests we have here on the Grandmaster's table. And I'm going to leave you with this, Silver. You are the commissioner of the UPO. We'd like to get the history on that. So, your baby, right? You've had it for quite some time. Give us the history. What was the thought behind the UPO? How did that get started? And what's the state of it now?
Oh my God, this takes me so much into the past. It's so nostalgic. But 2017, October 3rd, was when the cereal was birthed. And it was just the most enjoyable experience ever because Kurt and I was talking about starting our own league majority of 2017. And to finally be able to make our own league and for it to be 10 seasons in, plus have a third Wi-Fi season, it feels amazing. Like, honestly, it's just a beautiful feeling. It's like watching your kid grow and helping it grow. It's just amazing. Just seeing your community like play each other, continuously be active, have conversations, stuff like that. Kurt, every once in a while, it's like Kurt, do something. But he lives in Aussie land, so it's like, okay,
Narnia.
Aussie land is not real, so
That is facts.
Yeah.
We do love Kurt. So, do you have any plans on keeping the UPO up and alive, maybe in Gen 8, even if you're not participating?
Oh, facts. The seasons are still going on, actually. Like,
Nice.
We're waiting for, ironically, we talked about it, the Tundra, I believe.
Yeah.
That's coming out tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow for me. It's already today, but this morning, the morning coming up. As soon as we find out when these things are going to be released, we're going to start the season immediately because D-Ray has been in UPO before. If you could not tell, the people's super impatient. They're like SDN.
Yeah, start draft now.
Start draft now. I'm like that too. So I end up succumbing to it. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's start draft now.
The peer pressure is too overwhelming.
Halfway done. I'm like, you know what? The tears are done. The draft board is good. We're going to start draft now. We're going to finish the doc. As the draft goes on, so we're going to draft and have a good time. So Kurt usually makes fun of me for starting draft now all the time. But hey, look, it wouldn't be UPO without a start draft now.
Yeah, exactly. So for those who, make sure you guys keep your eyes out for the UPO. It's a cool league that Silver does commission. It's his baby. So keep your eyes out for it. It's gonna be a good time whenever that comes back. Silver, thank you so much for joining us today on the Grandmaster's table. Summer, do you have anything else in closing?
No, you are a great person. I definitely had an awesome time talking to you and learning more about you.
I appreciate that. You guys are the dopest couple I've ever met.
Stop. Summer's head just grew two times too big.
Right. That's all you.
That too. So guys, make sure you guys keep your eyes out for Silver Smasher. If the timer does fix, if Burst Recorder does return, this man is a force and I am terrified. So make sure you guys keep your eyes out for that the moment that announcement comes out. Again, we don't have any recollection that is going to happen, but in case it does, the homies going to come out the shadows and wreck everybody in sight. Make sure you guys keep posted for that. Silver, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We really do appreciate your time.
No problem. I enjoyed being in the podcast with y'all. It was a dope time. Had some good laughs, good conversation. It was lit.
Awesome.
Amazing, guys. Again, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy. With all that being said, we're going to get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your night, and above all else, be nice. Peace.